back, and we're playing my own version of a new Curse Warlock, where I've actually put the bomb, the hot potato, in my opponent's deck, and he's doing everything he can. He's destroying his minions. It's a thing of beauty. The thing is, he can actually, at the end of the turn, explode for 22 damage, or spend all your mana to give this to the other opponent, to your opponent with 2 damage. So basically, he's going to take 24 damage if I spend all my mana here. And if I don't spend my mana, then it will explode, healing me for 2 because I've got the Fellstream Harp. Which is nice. Okay. How do we proceed here? See, he's desperately trying to get rid of this. He's a control deck. He should have just taken 8 damage when it was in his hand to start off with. I think that was his mistake there. I want to spend 3 spells to activate a Jara. So how can I do this? So 3, 6. Okay, let's tap. 3. And now we play this. Now all of his cards, your opponent's cards cost health instead of mana next turn. So that means he can't avoid taking the damage, as far as I think, anyway. There's a new, more fun version of my famous Curse Warlock, Control Curse Warlock. This is including these 2 cards, Ulthok and Elite Tauren Champion. Let's just get up the deck tracker, as it inevitably doesn't work. There you go. That's interesting. Okay, so he's destroyed a few of them. Yeah, what's it called, Sim? Bit mean, but what can you do?
Pick me! Pick me!
So you see, every time he plays a minion now, any card, he's just going to kill himself. Okay. He's going to take a lot of damage if he keeps doing this. He's trying to get as much value as he can. He's killing his board. Basically, he doesn't realize what he's just done. He's basically destroyed himself. And he hasn't spent all his mana. Here we go. 24 damage to face. Beautiful. Pulled off the combo. Very nice. That was a lot of fun. Okay. Right. So, a fun video for us. On the way back out, we can complete our weekly task. Been away for a couple of weeks, so just wedding, and what a nice way to come back. Let's just show you how this deck works. It's pretty straightforward, very similar to the Cursed Warlock which we used to play. Okay, win Elite Tauren Champion's Rock Duel. Destroy the enemy hero by winning Elite Tauren Champion's Rock Duel. Yeah. Oh, it gives me 200 for it. That's a shame. Now that's what I call E.t.c. Okay. Let's look at the deck. Sorry about the microphone. It's not working at the moment. I have to use the laptop's microphone. So hopefully you can still hear me. It's a nice new deck we've got here. Very similar to the old one. We got Gigafin. We're taking out the heals out of the deck because we're focusing more on fatigue and curse sort of package as opposed to the full control one where you've got the Rotten Apple Down and you've got the the Drathir, and then you've got things which can resurrect them. Going for, I think in this method we need to have something a bit more aggressive, a bit more front loaded, keep the opponents on the back foot. So let's have a look. It's still a 40 card deck because we want to have that extra buffer of health and fatigue and curse package plus defensive cards. We need to have that extra space. Right, so the mulligans are Armor Vendor, and you can go for Baritone Imp if you need some AoE. You can keep Crescendo or Defile, they're all pretty good. Drain Soul. Harp's also a good keep. I would tend not to keep it unless I had another early game play as well, as it doesn't actually do anything, and you're at high health at the beginning of the game, so you really don't want to be equipping this until you're down to like 30 health maybe, or 29, where you can just heal up by tapping. And we've included this card in, which is nice, and it gives us some options, especially when we're doing the E.t.c battle, the rock duel. We'll do the rock duel later. We used to have varying card costs just to help you get that magic, fill out your mana curve. And we've got many more early game sort of removals than we did in our previous deck. So we've got the Hellfire, we've got the Drag Blue, obviously, Defile, Drain Soul, Crescendo, to help deal with early boards. We'll see how the meta goes. If we start getting more of like a big minion meta, then we might change it. We might put in things like Siphon Soul. If it gets really into the big minions, and Arsenal Accusations is another option we've got. You know, I can't see us using it, but you know, fact is, you've got to know how to build decks, and got to know what cards you can use for different metas. There we go. Scourge Supplies and the Hero Power are decent for card draw. We don't have that much more card draw besides the Symphony of Sims with the what's it called, of Greed, which gives you 6 cards in your hand. But besides that, we don't have much card draw. But the deck is pretty good. Then you've got the Hero Power as well, and we've got a few things which generate cards as well, like School Teacher and where is it? Fiddle Firing. Okay, we've got the Curse package with the Syracuse Cultist, Drag Below. Obviously, well, I'm going to say obviously it's not clear. If you've got the choice between playing this and using Drag Below, usually if this is on turn 3, you want to put a minion on board, because that can stall your opponent and can force them to use removal or to trade into you. Whereas if you play Drag Below, you've got no chance of being ahead of the board the next turn, because you know they'll just have a free turn refilling the board. If you do it this way around, you've at least got a minion on board. Unless it got a ridiculous early game minion out, which is more than 4, 5, which is 4, 5 or more. Can you just track in it? Wouldn't be able to if it's only 4. Unless it's full health, so yeah, it's just use your common sense there. The early Crescendo cards, try playing when you've got no harp equipped. So if you've got a choice of doing a harp, I'm playing a couple of these, play these first, because they don't do that much damage. They do 3 damage the first 2 cards. Once you play 3, or you want to play 3, or definitely 4 or 5, you definitely want to have the Fellstring harp equipped. As you play a very slow deck, then you can get away with self-damage, but otherwise you really need the Fellstring harp to stop you taking that damage, which is going to get you too low. Okay, now to the, and because you've got Lady Darkvane, you've got Missile Wave, as we all know how they work. Darkwing can get you some extra curses. Photographer Fizzle can copy some of the curse cards so it can get some longevity. Remember, you only need to play 8 curse cards to do 36 damage, which is enough to kill even a Renaissance deck. I've already got, I think, 7 in the deck is already. We've got 2 Abyssal Waves. One's a cool, 2 whatever Countess, and 2 Strength. We'll have 7 to start off with. So if you've got like a health or armor stack in the deck against you, then you can always try landing Fizzle on some more curse cards so they basically can't handle it. This deck does very well against Blood Death Knight, so even despite their health stacking, you're still pretty okay. We've got Gigafin as potentially a 5 mana board clear. We've got 8 mana. 5 mana, I say, because you can draw it for 3 mana with the Symphony of, what's it called? I can't remember the name of the Sins one, which draws you a most expensive minion and reduces the cost by 6. That's pretty good, and also it gives you 2 minions on board, and they have an empty board, and you get to keep your minions. That's why it's a bit better than Twisted Nether, but of course it's vulnerable to spells which can do damage to the Gigafin without killing out the what's it called, the Gigafin's appendage, whatever it is. And then we've got Symphony of Sins, we all know about that. Ajara tried playing on the Symphony of Sins or maybe on the Abyssal Wave. Okay, a 1 cost Abyssal Wave. You can be a bit flexible with Ajara. You can even try some of the other treasures besides the one which copies the last spell played, but they're all pretty good. But in this deck, it's mainly included for the copying of the spells. And Symphony of Sins is a very good spell to copy. And we've got 2 ways of doing that with Fizzle and with Ajara. Now, into the extra spicy cards. We've got these 2. So remember, I've made this mistake a few times practicing the deck. Finally take it to ranks, and we got it right this time. So Elite Tauren Champion, finale, very important. Starter rock duel. Players must spend all their mana each turn, or else they take 8 or more damage. And that or more means it adds 2 to the damage taken every time it swaps the opponent's hand. So if they spend all the mana, they don't take the 8 damage. They put the hot potato, so to speak, in our hand and does 10 damage if we don't spend all our mana. And then if we do spend our mana, it goes to them for 12, and then it goes back to us for 14, etc. And we saw in that game, he didn't realize what was actually going on, so he kept spending his mana. And in order not to take that 24 damage, I think it was, but unfortunately for him, he didn't realize why he was finding it so easy to play his cards. It's because I played this card here, Commander Ulthok. Your opponent's cards cost health instead of mana next turn, which is a really good win condition in itself. As you see, we actually did the achievement there. We killed the opponent with it. He kind of suicided because he was actually above 24 health, and he's in a control deck, so he could have survived. But again, this isn't your typical attrition deck. This is not an attrition deck. This is a control deck with a lot of win conditions. You've got your cursors, you've got your Symphony of Sins, you've got your doubling effects, we've even got Zola there to give us another Rajara, or another Zakul, or even another Elite Tauren Champion. And yeah, and we've also got a lot of mid-game tempo tools with the fatigue cards, which can be pretty good. Still not convinced we need this, but I think they're pretty good for early game, and Crescendo gives us a lot of board control, which is really useful. As for E.t.c, we've actually put E.t.c in the deck. We've got Rustrock Viper at the moment to get rid of any annoying weapons like a Drum Druid. You want to get rid of that weapon as soon as you can. So maybe turn 5 you do want to have only like summoned. Once they play the 1/5 cost card, so they'll only send 2 5/5s so you can actually survive. Smothering Starfish against like big paladin boards, or even some other boards which heavily buff up the board. If you're playing an attrition deck, then maybe you can even go for Rivendell Wall Rider, which is very risky. You don't want it stolen by a Sylvanas or silenced, but it gives you that extra option. You get very slow decks, which are honest decks, for example, like the Warrior one, for example. They don't have many silences, they're very only ways to steal your minion. Okay, I think that's it. It's a really fun deck. As fun, if not more fun, than my previous version. So maybe I'll do another video of this another time. And getting the Elite Tauren Champion to kill your opponent. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Bye for now.